Don't we all just love diesel smoke? Might as well get video of this again and again. It's kind of like a cold start, but I actually need to use the machine. Get a little whiff and a sniff. Here goes nothing, hot dog. Pick a little bit of air corn at home. The last little bit, almost done with harvest. Now it's time to find out if we have enough pulling power. It's not so much the power, it's just the ratio of tractor to wagon. Yeah, the rice tires are fine to get it going. As long as he gets a good run. Hopefully he picks sort of a road gear, maybe. The only part where he may have trouble is after he gets through that dip there. But that's the path we took with silage wagons, so theoretically we've compacted that down and made a good path pulling wagons. After watching that tractor pull wagons, I'd see how much trouble I would have if I was still using the Ford corn picker, or even the John Deere. That this thing has enough weight to get the power to the ground. With those rice tires, we can pull a house if we have to. I may not be able to steer it, but we'll pull it. Those little back tires, and now they don't have as much grip and stuff. It's because they're small, and most of my weight, thanks to the corn head, is up front, even though I got a full stack of weights in the back. Okay, let's roll. Well, since I'm going so slow, I did a little bit of math in my head. For how long I've been picking corn. Now these rows are nice and long, so that helps. It's, you know, much more efficient. That I'm not spending as much time turning around. But that it's roughly taking me 33 or 35 minutes to fill a wagon. Dad's bringing me wagons, and that includes the time in between to hook and unhook, and I'll probably lose a few minutes there. Trade wagons, and if Dad has a question or a comment or something, talking about whatever. So if it was just, say, a single wagon, and I timed from the very first moment I go in to a row until it's full, yeah, I guess it'd be a nice crisp half hour. And that's just creeping along here. Plugged it once. Typically I can kind of see if there's something coming out the fan over there. But every once in a while I can pull the panel and look. 4 rows left after this. I'm going to try to get Dad in here and see what he thinks of it. Well, we saw Brennan drive, and now I got Dad to drive. He's been pulling wagons back with the 6610. It has a little bit more weight. Wait in a second here, see if he remembers to turn on the elevator. I've been going as far as possible before the wagons get full. And we got a partial pass. Elevator, he doesn't remember, there he goes. He got the elevator. There it comes, dumping out. Now this wagon is not quite half full because I finished it, finished the field with this wagon. I had 8 rows left, so I didn't need a full wagon in the last field. But here, 8 rows, filled that wagon. And the bigger wagons, it really gets them full. I don't know how fast Tad's going. It all feels slow. It feels faster than I was going, maybe. And you can see we're definitely pulling the trash out. A few of those ones are wedged there. They're not in the way. It's like the stick that's on them is on the back side of the roller. It doesn't look like we're passing too much junk through them. Especially when you see how well it's pulling all that out. And I wonder if we're not using the trash, the top trash roll. I'm really curious how much trash he's taking in. It doesn't seem too bad. This is a thinner area. Of course, I come out the front end. This had a little bit of germination problems. Well, just because I guess it got a little dry on it. But once it was out of the ground and going, remember all the silage videos and the other ear picking video? They're big ears. They're 18 around. Joys of silage varieties. I mean, I know my dad likes longer seasons. At least we have more time for the plant to do something. The more time it has, the more corn it can make. But that kind of pushes our weather a little bit. Let's take them to the end of the row here. See, when we chopped this, we had all the funky stuff chopped, so we were left with some nice straight rows to do whatever it was that we were going to do. I did have to put some fuel in it. I got it down to a quarter tank, picking 14 loads and driving to the field and back home. And I decided I should put some fuel in it before we get to the field so I didn't run out. Yeah, see if you remember to shut it off. Remember to shut off the elevator. Well, we're going to have some gear snacks to pick up. So the nice part of the last pass is we have a very unobstructed view all the way around. And you can see what's happening on this side. Yeah, I'm still not ready to try running the camera to the picture yet. I don't get it back now. Looks like there's a lot going in, but there's also a lot coming out the bottom of the head. I mean, plus we're cutting it fairly high. No point in running all that stock through the picker. I don't know, Dad's getting a little excited. I think he gave it a bit more ground speed. Cold out here. It's December 4th. This is the last corn at home, and I have one field of corn to shell on the road. how clean it looks in the pile. That's pretty good. Best I could expect for trying to cram 4 rows in that 12-roll bed. There is a small shower of kernels. Not too bad. And we see a few of these, a little bit of butt shelling. And that's just a product of the corn head, but it's less bad than if it was like the old pull type style with the bare rolls. Well, we can't see through all the windows back there, but Dad jumped in the wagon while we were going down the field because it was pretty full, and I've only got a few more yards left, but it was starting to run over the edge. Whoops. Well, we're coming to the end. There's about 10 plants left. Yeehaw. That is it for the ear corn. And we can't necessarily see much back there. That's a little better because there's not 2 windows to look through. Clean out the elevator and the inside of the machine. That'll be all she wrote. Pretty smooth season. I like this for making ear corn. We get it all in? We're to the end of the road, yeah. So how do you like driving the Unisystem?
It's different.
You must not have driven many John Deere combines. Me neither. Well, the side cabs.
Oh.
You know, the 6600 series.
Well, it's not much different than the chopper was. The chopper, you got kindly offside too.
Yeah, but they did a lot better on the cab windows in the corners. The chopper, the picker, they've got a big like post or something in the corner.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more levers because you got the elevator, the hydrostat, and the header height.
And just get comfortable with what lever does what.
Yeah, instead of putting the head down, you find yourself going really fast. Or you're lifting up the head instead of turning the elevator off.
Yeah.